Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandragon's Cave. Today we are gonna be talking about the new anime that Oda has released in Netflix, and it is called 103 Mercies Dragon Damnation. A lot of us know this series from the volume Wanted of One Piece, that there's a compilation of mini stories from Oda before One Piece was famous, and basically one of the stories is this. It's about Ryuma. That is, if you are watching One Piece, you will see that in Wano it's explained that Zoro and Ryuma both are Shimotsuki, so Zoro is descendant of Ryuma. And what happens here in this story is basically that Ryuma, this looks exactly like Zoro, it's a guy who is like a Ronin, is traveling around the areas, and you have this this guy that is kind of the superhero, the good guy, called Cyrano. And Cyrano is it's kind of a Spanish looking, like ala triste, like a very skilled swordsman. What they say in let's start drawing at the same time. What they say in the towns around is that he's only second to the king. As you can see, DavidViadel23 had some technical issues, so I started drawing the face and everything really nice, but I had a problem with the camera. Now it's fixed, so let's do like a small recap of what I was talking about. So basically we said we're drawing today Cyrano from 103 Mercies Dragon Damnation. Some of us know this story called Monsters, from the volume Monsters, that it's a recap of mini stories from Oda before One Piece. And because of these mini stories, Oda was able to start doing the Jump comic, the manga in One Piece. So I'm drawing Cyrano today, that this is the bad guy. As I said, I'm gonna be talking about the spoilers. This is not actually a spoiler because this story has like 30 years already, but they happen to have done anime now. But anyway, a spoiler disclaimer and all these things from One Piece, that I'm gonna be talking about things about One Piece, and as well from the new anime, if you haven't watched it yet, in Netflix. So basically, this guy, that is the bad guy, what I was talking about before the video got a little bit messed up, is that it reminds me to Vista from One Piece. And you will say, oh my god, this guy is talking again and again about Vista, and this story is not gonna happen. Okay, I understand you. This is what I think is gonna happen in One Piece, and things I see, small clues I see here and there, I will try to spot them, to explain them further. Okay, so basically, in the volume of Wanted, you have different stories, and one of them is the pre-One Piece, where Garp gives the hat to Luffy, Luffy goes into sea. The story is different at the beginning. There's a Nami, very similar to Nami, but not exactly like Nami. There's all the sketches about Nami as well, with an axe as well, with kind of a more like a more aggressive look and more fighter look, etc. All of these things are clues. Okay, so I think this become an anime now, after all these years, and having, let's see, the legs for this guy. So I want to do it a little bit my style, but keeping all those things. So like a chicken, gonna be like a chicken a little bit. So this guy, it reminds me to Vista completely. And as we have these references from Ryuma, that Ryuma was a Shimotsuki Ryuma, ancestor of Zoro. Zoro in Wano is confirmed to be a Shimotsuki clan member. And then we have this guy that is supposed to be the best swordsman in the world. That it has the mustache, it has like a big hat, it has the cape, it has the smile, the looks, the charm, like Vista. And we have clues in the stories before One Piece about Zoro, about Nami, about Luffy, that when you watch One Piece and you watch these mini stories before, or you read these mini stories before, you say, oh, okay, Oda had first this idea. Zoro was meant to be a swordsman in Boggy's crew, and then didn't happen at the end. There is young sketches of this kind of concept for the storyline and everything, okay. And it never happened, okay. So there are things like this that I think always, okay, so Oda accepted to do this because there's clues for the story. Ryuma and Shusui, the sword that he has, it is confirmed to be canon. We have it in One Piece. In fact, at the end, I said this spoiler again. At the end of this story, what they've done in the anime is to reminisce a little bit the fight between Ryuma and Zoro, how Zoro wins and gets Shusui, and kind of the end of this new anime is kind of remember that we have One Piece, and this is connected to One Piece. So what happens in the story is that this is the charming guy, as I was saying. This is the charming guy, the handsome, the leader of the royal guard, and the dragon. There's a dragon who attacks the town, and this dragon later happens to be controlled by this guy and another guy that is in league with him. They are kind of tricking everyone, so they leave town, so they can steal whatever they want, okay? So this is like this perfect guy, looking like a Spanish tercio a la triste or something like this, okay? That, at the same time, is actually a bad guy, in league with another bad guy. And if you see what I'm going here is, yeah, as I was saying before, you will think, oh my god, he's talking about Vista. But, the cape, the mustache, the tricky smile, the look in the eyes, the big hat, the pose, the being the best in the world, when in my theory about Vista what I say is that Vista is the only character that is able to stop Mihawk, or at least fight a little bit with Mihawk, until they decide, okay, we're not going anywhere, let's go our separate ways and let's fight with other people. And you say, okay, cool. If you want to go in depth more about why do I think about Vista, this and that, and you haven't seen my other videos, go to the Vista video, go to the Mihawk video as well, and go to the Zoro video, because those three videos kind of make a full story. And with this one, it will be another one with notes from this specific anime. 103, Mercies Dragon Damnation. So Ryuma in One Piece is a very famous swordsman because he manages to kill a dragon and cut the head of the dragon. Okay, this guy that is supposed to be the best, or the second to the best, he says, oh, I will sacrifice myself and I will kill the dragon, blah blah blah, but everything is a lie, as I was saying before. And then at the end, Ryuma ends up staying and killing the dragon, and that's what we know that he is famous for in One Piece, for killing a dragon and behead a dragon. Okay, super cool. But as I was saying, the references from the previous One Piece sketches, let's call these One Piece sketches, are that Garp used to be there as giving the hat, but then is in the story as a grandfather. You had this Nami-looking girl that it is not a Nami, I think it's called Anne, that later ends up being the Nami, is looking like Nami. Then you have Ryuma, that is exactly the same like Zoro, and then you end up having Zoro in the story. So Oda is using these little stories when... Think about Oda, 19 years old, okay? He's thinking about these stories like a sketch, and then Jump gives him the opportunity, says, hey, Oda, we love these mini stories, yeah, let's do the One Piece one proper, and let's put it in the magazine, okay? That's what happens. And then, as a 19 years old, what do? So you take references from stories that you already have, and you try to do a super cool story. That's what happened in One Piece. And some of your super cool characters that you have in your other stories that you want to use, like Ryuma, like this Luffy, like this Garp, end up coming again in the main story. And who else do we have in those mini stories that is super important, but we haven't seen in, or has done nothing about it? Someone like this. Do we have a guy who is looking like this in the story? Yes, Vista. Do I think it may happen that he happens to be the bad guy of the story, etc., etc.? Yes. And colleague of Blackbeard, etc., etc.? Yes. Why? Because all what I explained in my previous videos, and now on top of that, because of this story that I left there in my shelf, forgotten, and we need to pay attention to those things. We need to pay attention to those things because those are the small details that Oda loves to put in stories every now and then. Tolkien managed to do the drawing very nice. Maybe this little bit is outside of frame, I think, but I think we are gonna be quite good. So there's one arm here, the other arm is behind him, this is the head, okay. I'm trying to exaggerate a little bit the face, okay, more than in the thing, if you have seen it, because I want to show the chin here. I want to show the expression a little bit. If you realize, he has this type of hat exactly like Mihawk. Oda, what he loves to do, how he builds a character for One Piece is he chops previous characters or real characters or personage to make his own One Piece character. Okay, like Whitebeard, Blackbeard, and such. Those three guys are created for actual the Edward Newgate. That's Edward Newgate is Whitebeard, and then Sach and Blackbeard. All of this is Edward Teach is the name of Blackbeard, and the appearances of Whitebeard is because this is said in one of the interviews I have there in one of the volumes, one of the color spread big volumes. I have there that he says, I've been going to this bar, to this cafe, and I see this old man that it's, you know, is plugged with all these tubes and everything in the cafe because he needs assisted breathing and everything. And so the guy, Oda, takes references from this man to create his Whitebeard character, okay, and then he takes things from the pirates, from Blackbeard and everything to create the character itself as the story of the character. Okay, so it is very interesting the way of creating characters, because like this I see how he may have taken Cyrano, the best swordsman in the world, only second to the king. Then apparently with that story that is very open and very young story, it gives you to understand that Ryuma is the king, but Ryuma is only a Ronin, so it is actually like an open ending there. But you have this concept of Cyrano looking like this, but the type of sword that this guy is using is more similar to Mihawk. The type of hat to Mihawk, the cape similar to Mihawk, the expression is similar to Vista, the character and the trickster is similar to Vista, the smiles and the gestures that he does similar to Vista. So we have this very mixed character and very interesting. So what I think it happened here is that Oda used Cyrano as his mother reference to create Vista and Mihawk. He took one of his main characters, this bad guy look. He took his bad guy, because in the other stories, if you see, there's no bad guys. All of them are kind of stories that are happening, but there is no a bad guy in that story, okay? But this is basically the only story that you have this bad guy, and then this is happening, that is happening, and yeah, let's do a little bit like this. The mustache. Do you think Oda is gonna let the opportunity pass of doing this mustache guy in his story and then not doing it in the real story, and how cool this guy looks? No, I don't think that's gonna happen. So this guy totally needs to be represented in One Piece in one way or another. And we already seen Mihawk very similar to this guy, and there is some details about character design that they are totally Vista, and it may be because of this. So it has this long neck sleeve like Mihawk. It has the pose as well like Mihawk, but then it has the attitude and the manners and the way of speaking like Vista. Go and check out the Netflix thing, and then come back and feel free to explain in the comments what's your opinion, and say, hey, I think you're right, or no, I think you are super wrong, because this is One Piece, and he takes always references from the real stories or from previous stories. And as you always know, when you do a story, there's nothing new, and a lot of people reuse ideas and concepts, and that's nothing bad. There's nothing bad about it. Okay, it is very good because it keeps refreshing stories that we all know. Okay, so we have this massive super sword there. And I see the references there as when talking to this guy is challenging him, is setting him up for a trap. Okay, it's setting Ryuma for a trap, and he challenges him with the sword. He touches his sword. The scabbard. His scabbard touches the other guy's scabbard. So, and then Ryuma sees this as an offense, and he said, hey, you know very well that if you do that to a swordsman, you are challenging him to a duel. So this guy Cyrano makes a display of power, and just with a swing of the sword, he's like, you are no match for me. Okay, so kind of the momentum and then the not being prepared for the fight. It's not like Ryuma wasn't prepared. It's like how would I say it? in that moment, I think is the pressure and the different type of battle that these two guys have. So these two swordsmen are very, very different. And then that's why I think as well that Vista and Zoro, they are completely two different swordsmen, because Ryuma, Vista, you see him in his design and his swords, that he comes from more of a type of classic medieval fighter, or like a Spanish-Italian swordsman fighter, okay? And then Zoro comes more from references from samurais and ronins. So you see the contrast of European culture and then Japanese culture, and all these things that happened in reality, and all these clashes that happened in reality in history. And Oda always portrays history as well, so it will be very compelling and very interesting if it goes with that line, that all the Vista clues that I find during the story are leading me to this. And now I see this manga, now I reread this manga, because I read it a couple of weeks ago, after knowing that Oda was gonna do the new anime, the short anime. And I say like, okay, these are clues. These are clues that Oda is giving. And if you want to, I talk a little bit, I think, in my video about Zoro. My last video about Zoro, I have a couple of videos about talking about him. I have these comments that I talk is like, 1 second, I do here the next 1 second, just to make sure this is looking okay. This is supposed to be un señor with a little bit of aster, a little bit of elegance, let's say elegance there. So let's do the scabbard here as well, because it's very important part of this story, so it needs to be in as well, it needs to be drawn here as well. So I talk about Zoro a lot in the story, and I talk a little bit too narrow. It is gonna be okay. We can do like a shadow there, like this. Yeah. 1 second. Anyway, the sword is the feeling is black, so we can actually go for the black already, and this is done. Just 1 second there. I have this tip here on the tip there on the side, and let's just, we carry on in a second, yeah. This is the flying cape, very fly cape. Okay, and the other hand is behind, that's good as well. Yeah, okay. So yeah, as I was saying, I have these comments I mention in my videos about, especially in the Zoro video that I was saying, I mention this theory about, I say, oh, pay attention that Oda is publishing now this anime regarding Ryuma that is mentioned in the story, and we can have some clues and some ideas about things going on in the story. And we know that Ryuma comes from Wano, the Shimotsuki come from Wano. In Wano's story, you have these guys called the KAIZOKU, and the KAIZOKU clan, they are in charge of, well, they are the ones who do the poneglyphs and write the story of the world, etc., etc., etc. Okay, if you are a fan of One Piece, you already all know all these things. And I mentioned that what if Oda wants to use this story as a reference as well and reality for the story, what if this is connected as well, as Ryuma is connected and Shusui is connected, and it is with Zoro now. And in Wano you had this group, the KAIZOKU, in charge of writing, and then you had the strongest, the Shimotsuki, the strongest, they were able to cut everything, cutting kairoseki, that is the strongest material, cutting kairoseki to make the squares, the cubes of the poneglyphs. And I just mentioned it that in that moment, like a 10 seconds comment, and I've been thinking about it. That can be totally what Oda is gonna be doing, and how I'm a strong believer of Vista getting the diamond fruit and Zoro being the final fight that they are gonna have as swordsman to see who is the best. And I'm really up for that storyline, and it can be connected in this way. That the reason for doing this is because short in time now, closer in time, Oda will reveal that the Shimotsuki were the ones cutting. Just take note of this, because I think it's gonna be like that. The Shimotsuki were the ones cutting the poneglyphs. So they were so strong, no one else was able to cut it. And then the KAIZOKU clan, they managed to find a way to do the writings, to engrave in the stone, in the kairoseki stone, the kairoseki material, the writings. It could be very interesting because you will not be focusing everything in the KAIZOKU. You will be giving Zoro a little bit more of importance in regarding of his lineage, because we kind of, how Zoro doesn't care, Zoro is like Luffy, and how Zoro doesn't care about his family, blah blah blah, etc., all these things. It can be interesting for the development of the story going forward, and it can be interesting as well as we have Zoro always connected with Nico Robin. Sanji is more connected to Nami and protective of Nami, and even if he protects all the girls, we see this all the time, that kind of is more focused in Nami, and then Zoro is the one who, like in Skype, as I said in my other video, she falls electrified by Enel, and then Zoro holds her in the movies and some of the movies as well. Zoro is the one always helping Robin, and kind of unconsciously for us, or consciously from Oda, maybe Oda gives some clues to the animators, to Toei, and to his assistants and everything, saying, okay, every time that we are gonna see Nico Robin and Zoro together or doing this and that, make sure that the couples know in romantic way, like in a fighting or group couple, they are together. And Zoro knew it because maybe he doesn't say it, or he doesn't want to say it, but it's maybe because later on in the story, because I may want to explain something about their ancestors, blah 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 blah. Maybe he doesn't go more into detail. He explains that to the animators, to the assistants, blah blah, and yeah, they go for it. And it will be a totally valid argument for the story, that you say, okay, why these are paired more than the rest? Why these are paired more than the rest? And then later, Oda says, no, it's because actually Zoro's original family ancestors, they were the ones connecting with Nico Robin, because as she can read, so I'm making this kind of clue about about he has like an innate need in him to help this message to be passed through, but he doesn't know. He's not like the intelligent or like the clever person like Robin. He's a fighter and he does it in his way, fighting and protecting. Like the Shimotsuki used to do, like Ryuma. Maybe Oda even wants to say, no, it's actually Ryuma is the one, because this has never been confirmed, but he could totally say it. Like, no, it's because actually these monsters, this 103 Mercies Dragon Damnation happens 800 years ago. And this is what they are actually, or maybe he was coming back or was gonna cut the poneglyphs after this, and he said that if the story ends up like that it's Ryuma the king, is because maybe that's Wano. It's looking like Wild West, but maybe he can say, no, this is Wano, close to Wano, and we have these spoons and these clues about maybe the Shimotsuki were the actual daimyo, that they are daimyo in Wano, but they were as well the shogun and everything, like Oden is supposed to be now. And it can be really interesting, even if Zoro doesn't care about these things, or we don't even care. I don't care if Zoro has like royal lineage, or he is this or he is that. To be honest, the character drives me to not want to do that, as well as Sanji's character drives me to the concept of family that he has, and how sentimental he is, and it makes you hate his family. This is the same. So Zoro is not interested in that. For me, it's not interesting either. And it's like Luffy. Luffy doesn't want to know. Oh, I think if whatever info from Luffy's past is revealed, like regarding his mom, his dad, and everyone, Luffy is not gonna care. I have as well this big theory in the channel talking about Robin and Luffy being brothers. Dragon getting with Olvia first, like 30 a couple years ago, 30 years ago actually, and then Olvia dying, and that's why he brings flowers to Ohara, because it's for his girlfriend that died there, and that's why he becomes more bad and more bad. Well, bad for the government, like revolutionary, and yeah, basically, let's do the sword a little bit blue, because it's kind of bluish. And yeah, so I think at some point this will be revealed as well, and but basically, whenever this is revealed, Luffy's not gonna care. He's gonna protect Nico Robin anyway, being sister or not being sister. But yeah, so as well, the trouser, well, this trouser is not like trouser, it's like I think like look like tights, or like a very thin type of trouser. I'm gonna do it a little bit like with black. It's bluish, but I think I'm gonna do it like this. And now I will add these lines here. It needs an extra line there. Okay, it's looking good like this. It's looking very funny, very dangerous. I made him more red. I've been trying to focus more in making him more red, to kind of emphasize the concept of aggressive. And I think the contrast that we see this guy with the red cape and everything, and this kind of look, of bad guy look, but at the same time, Vista. That's my point there. That my theory is that Vista is done. The theory, the concept of Vista it comes from this guy. Mihawk and Vista come from this guy. Vista is blue. You have red and blue. That will be very Oda thing to do if he says, yeah, I'm gonna try to use this character that I have, Cyrano, in One Piece, because I love it. It's really cool. I'm gonna try to use it somehow, okay? And then in Jump they say, yeah, I mean, you are super cool, and you are doing this super story super nice, so just do whatever you want. And then he does this this kind of refresh to the story, and refreshing this character. Yeah, I'm gonna use Cyrano, but you know, I'm gonna give this collar to Mihawk, the cape to Mihawk, the face for Vista, this mustache for Vista, and then, you know, so it's not that obvious, because obviously the manga story is in black and white, no color. He says, you know, just for references, I'm just gonna make it blue. So in the theory is he's gonna be blue. So we don't have colors, but Oda is making sure that he says don't do it blue, because blue is gonna be too obvious that this guy looks like Vista. And I'm gonna be giving myself a spoiler there. I'm gonna be spoiling everyone, because everyone gonna start thinking about, oh, look, he look like Vista. What if Vista is gonna be bad? So let's not give them more clues, and let's make him red and white. And that is exactly what I think it happened. And yeah. So, as I say always in the videos, feel free to go to the comments and tell me what do you think about this, how crazy do you think I am because of this, and if you don't see the similarities with this thing, you can say it feel free to say it, there's no problem about it. This is not that I'm not gonna, you know, no, I don't have any problem with this. I just want to theorize and see what things we can find, and things that I would like to see or I find interesting. Let's see if you find it interesting too. And yeah, so let's add some dark color there. That's looking really nice. The hat, we will make it a little bit more red as well. Yeah, I got this red brown. It's another tone. This type of hat with the feathery back like Mihawk. You can't deny. Look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like this, and then I'm gonna erase. It's gonna be looking very nice. You will see in a second. You can't deny that Mihawk has references from this guy. Look at the hat. Look at everything. Look at the eyes. Similar as well, like serious look, aggressive eyes like Mihawk, like dead eyes like Mihawk, dangerous. And it will make sense that Oda has these clues and gave us this, is giving us this kind of this is too yellow. This kind of you know, foreshadowing. I will call it foreshadowing. Let's do this brown. Aha, this is the brown I wanted. I was looking for. To make darker the boots, the glove, this kind of vest that he's wearing as well, the wild vest in the Wild West. Okay. The hair is, I made it black, but in the series they made it like kind of grayish. But it is really good like this anyway. So I'm gonna make this more gray. It is kind of pinky gray, so I think like this it should be good. And let's change a little bit this, and this kind of a Spanish, tercio, Spanish, Italian, swordsman. The sword is different, but the concept is very similar for the design of the character. These tops, this kind of collar neck, the capes, short capes as well, longer capes. So I see a lot of references that Oda may be giving us clues, and let's, fingers crossed, let's hope this is like that, because it can be very interesting for the storyline, and I will be very happy to get this theory right, because I'm a very, very strong fan of this concept. That would be very cool. That would be really cool. Maybe in a couple of years' time. I don't know when this is gonna be revealed. Probably, my opinion is at the end of Egghead. Yeah. let's see what Oda has in the storage for us. Okay, this is done. I really enjoy talking about this Oda character that I think is gonna be in One Piece as well, and I hope you enjoyed the theory and the idea and the concept as well, and the Mihawk comparison there. Let's just add a little bit of okay, I hope you like it as well. This is the drawing is finished, and let's sign here. This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your nakamas, make theories, and yeah, let's see if we can find some really nice clues for the One Piece. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.